Hello everyone. Welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. How are you doing today? This is the reading for Aquarius for Love 2024 April. We're going to go ahead and look into your reading and see what's happening at the current energies as they stand now. So this could deal with the past, current, or future situation, but it's the one that dominates your energies to date. We're just going to go ahead and tap into those and see exactly what we find. You can dig up. So if you're new here or if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for joining. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below, ding the notification bell whenever you can, so that way you don't miss out on any of the future updates for videos posted here on the channel. Also, if you like a personal reading, please be sure to reach out at the description box below, at the information provided in the description box below, and be aware of scammers. You know how they operate, you know the drill. YouTube is full of them, and so is social media, so let's crack down on them. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and look into Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyone with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant in their chart, we're going to find out the love energies for this time. So let's find out, let's see what's going on, and good luck. Wait, what am I doing? Need to shuffle. Mercury retrograde is being a bully to my brain right now. Sun and Ascendant. Aquarius, Sun and Ascendant. What's happening in love for April 2024? What's happening for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant? April 2024. Okay. Okay. Oof. Things flying out now. So that's shared energy. Aquarius thoughts. Oof. What's happening in Aquarius' person's thoughts? What's happening in Aquarius' feelings? What's in Aquarius' person's feelings? I feel like this card wanted to, yeah. I was wondering. What's Aquarius' actions? Too many cards. This card was trying to force its way out. Where's this person's actions? Clarify. Jesus. Okay. Someone here has been friend zoned. We're going to go ahead and look into this a bit further. Outcome of the relationship as it stands. Clarify what's on the card. Okay. All right. So the Four of Cups and the Hermit came out in the previous reading. So if you have Libra in your chart, please have a look at that. They came out nearly in the same order, but in different parts of the spread. So looking at the Kipper, we have his thoughts. Short illness, reversed. And then main person. All right, there's a lot to digest in this one. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Kipper first and just see exactly what they're saying. So we do have these three cards: his thoughts, short illness, and main person reverse. Short illness is also reversed. But what I get from this, maybe you've been thinking about this person that maybe they have some kind of long-standing mental illness, because I see short illness, so it could be a physical illness or a mental illness. But because short illness is in reverse, either A, they're recovering from it, or B, this is a long-term illness. I'm tending to lean towards the latter. Additionally, we have main person, and main person is also in reverse, so there are multiple people involved in this scenario. And so I get a person, when I put the three of these two together, I get a person who is contemplating their life. Whether or not you, the Aquarian, is dealing with this situation, or you're dealing with a love interest who is faced with this situation, that perhaps the person that you fell in love with is now facing kind of an extreme illness. Maybe they've been battling something like cancer or some other illness, or perhaps you or the person in question has been struggling with a mental illness, and it's gotten so severe that there has been a desire to reach out to other people to try to see if you can move on in the love department. Or maybe your person is doing that or thinking that way. So because this illness seems to be quite persistent, that I think it's almost like, well, you live your life, you do the best that you can, so that way you can find your happiness. That's the message that I'm receiving from this. But overall, what we have here is essentially a person who is doing that right now. They're in the Knight of Wands energy. That's the energy between the Aquarian and the person in question. This is a very playful energy, an exploratory energy, and it's also an energy of, this came out in the Libra energy too, in the same very spot. You cannot make this up. So you definitely have Libra in your chart as well, Aquarius and Libra. So please look at both of those. Well, the person in question right now, I'm going to find out why this Ace of Pentacles, why the Ace of Pentacles keeps coming out. Yes, of course, of course. So this is a person who is not willing to commit, and who is also faced with a long-standing heartbreak. Or maybe they just want a lighthearted relationship with you, the Aquarian in question, because they realize that, hey, my heart's been broken really badly by this previous situation, and I don't feel like offering anything of substantial value. So for me, I just want to kind of go out there and have my fun. So I'm leaning, if this is you, the Aquarian, doing that, then you're basically exploring your options and trying to keep relationships light as possible, due to the fact that someone that you love, or maybe you yourself, have dealt with a very difficult illness or a very difficult situation that has forced you to move away from someone you deeply cared about. And typically when you have people who are widowed, people who have lost family members because of that, it can create a bit of a reticence to connect to anyone on a deeper level in the future relationships they hold. Because oftentimes when you get so close to someone and then you lose that person, it can leave a severe mark in their life. And this is usually caused by, well, I don't know if I'll ever love anyone else like I love that person again. I don't know if I can ever open my heart to anyone else, knowing that this person is basically on the outs. And this is the problem that is faced with this particular Aquarian. And just take it as it resonates. If you are the person who has faced a health crisis, mental or otherwise, and you feel like it's just not a good idea for you to connect with anyone on a deep level, then take that as it resonates for you. If you are on the receiving end of that, also take it as it resonates. But that's what I'm getting from this reading. It's quite clear. So definitely in all of this, we start with the thoughts. We leave the thoughts of the person in question here. On the Aquarian side, they feel like they have been left out in the cold. This is a pervasive thought process that the Aquarian is facing right now. Why does the Aquarian think that they're out in the cold? So, it's because of the Knight of Swords and also Two of Swords. That's more Gemini, Libra, Aquarian energy. For you, you feel like normally the Knight of Swords communicates very sharply, quickly, and impulsively, but with this Two of Swords here, it's almost like you're holding yourself back. So it's like you feel like you just feel left out in the cold because you don't know whether or not you want to rush forward to say something to someone, or if you want to just hold yourself back and keep yourself from expressing those thoughts. Now, this can be quite a difficult situation for you to deal with, being an Aquarian and also being kind of the fixed energy of air. This is the person who's normally adept at communicating, but who may feel stuck in their head. So I'm getting almost like Eight of Swords vibes here in this particular reading. It's almost as if, because you know you're left out in the cold, it's difficult for you to know exactly how to proceed in relationships, or with this specific person. If they left you out in the cold, then you feel as if you don't know whether or not you want to give this all of your energy or none at all. And on your person's side, clarify 3 of Wands. Reversed again. Okay, so on your person's side, they've given up. They have forcefully decided, hey, this is not going to happen. So you may have been dealing with a person with fire and earth in their chart, because I see a lot of that taking place here, with the exception of the outward actions. In the thoughts and the feelings, we have just fire and earth. So we have a person who has decidedly stopped waiting on you to act and to take charge, whereas you and your energy, you're not really sure as to whether you should rush in and say hello and, you know, I'm sorry or something like that, or if you have or if you're deciding to just, you know, block your heart emotionally. Because in this card, which is the Two of Swords, it is a card of a person who is guarding their heart, and they're using a very defensive posture in order to do that. Mind the sirens outside. However, on the person's side, not only have they stopped waiting on you, but they're pushing you out, and they realize that you're not worth waiting on. So if you are a particular Aquarian who is dealing with this, and you had opened your heart up to someone briefly and then only like to, you know, back away or be indecisive about anything, that person has basically said, you know what, fuck off. No, I hate to say it that way, but that's specifically what the cards are showing me right now. It's like, why bother investing in this? So what it's indicating to me is that that's how that person is thinking. Now, in the feelings for the person, for the Aquarian in question, clarify the Pentacles reversed. Clarify once more. Clarify the Pentacles reversed. There are a lot of cards coming out. A lot of cards. So I'm getting a person who is the Aquarian that I'm reading for here is quite a mess. They are not emotionally or mentally grounded. They're also not financially grounded either. They may be spending out of habit to kind of calm the fears of their insecurities, or to kind of do like shopper's therapy as a way of coping with losses or difficulties in their life. That should not persist longer than it should, for the simple reason that it will drain your finances quite quickly. So if you, even if it's not purchasing things and taking them home, like if you're gambling or if you're spending your money on things that you shouldn't really spend it on. Be wary of that. But there's no sense of foundation or nurturing yourself. So maybe it's a person who's quite restless and a person who feels like there's no center within their life. But even more so, with the 3 cards that came out, you have the 3 of Swords reversed, you have the Justice, and then the Ace, then the Page of Cups reversed. I'm getting a person in their mind who is shouting, I want justice. I want this person to pay for what they did to me. Because the Queen of Swords reversed, that can be a person who's very, very bitter and hostile and cutting. But next to the Justice, it can indicate a kind of karma that they want to see happen to the person that they're dealing with. And furthermore, with the Page of Cups reversed, that has no offerings of love. So it's like a person who says, oh, well, you're going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you right back. And they're willing to, this is a person who wants vengeance in many ways, or a person who wants to see something bad happen to the person they're dealing with. However, the person they're dealing with, when they're, again, they had the 2 of Wands reversed, the 3 of Wands reversed. And that indicates they have made a strong decision to say, no, I'm not going to plan for this future with you. I've decided to move away, step back from all of this, and I'm going to actually detonate this entire tower. So maybe this is a person who abruptly cut things off with you, or who abruptly created a tower moment in your life, or maybe they think that you're a disaster waiting to happen. And by definition, with that tower, they may have thought that, dealing with you kind of shook their world up, and it created a lot of situations in which they felt destabilized to an extent, and for that very reason that they do not want to get involved in a relationship with you at all. They could also be going through their own tower moment in their life, which would be external from you or be separate from you. So it's important for them to kind of understand how to pick up the pieces and put them back together so that they can have a bit more stability in their own life. So you have the Tower on their side, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles on your side. And again, take it as it resonates. If you resonate with one side or the other more, feel free to express that. Now, in essence, in a way, your person feels like the plans that they were going to make with you have been completely erupted and exploded. And so now they have to essentially restart. Like their plans to be with you, probably they saw themselves a bit more long-term with you, and that is now out of question. So they have abruptly gotten rid of that and have decided to move on. And you, being on the receiving end of that, have said, how dare you? I want justice. But ask yourself, if what this person has decided to do is that really, was there a legitimate reason? Jesus, I cannot speak today. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Think about whether or not they have a warranted or an actual grievance with you. If you were in this Knight of Swords, Two of Swords energy, Five of Pentacles energy, when you met them and you were, you felt like you were out in the cold, you were depressed, you were not showing the best side of yourself and responding in a way in your thought processes where it was either blocked thoughts or rushing in to communicate or being harsh with your communication. Ask yourself, would a person respond properly to that? And if you were on the receiving end of that, does your person know that it's time for them to wake up to the way they communicate with other people? Aquarius is a communicating card. So anyone dealing with a lot of air in their chart would need to understand when to progress, when to use tact. Be more like the Libran when they deal with relationships, which is why Libras are the relationship card for the air signs. They're the cardinal sign, and they're the ones that can initiate relationships with ease because of their charm and their grace. They're a card ruled by Venus anyway. Whereas Uranus, the Aquarian, is disruptive. It's ruled by Uranian energy. And additionally, in the old Vedic traditional system, they were ruled by Saturn. So you would have Saturn, which is the crystallization under the earth sign of Capricorn, and then it moves into the air sign of Aquarius, which is the disruption of that crystallis. It's shattering the glass that has formed over the Saturnian period. Moving right along into the last bit, we have, again, this also came out for Libra, but it was in the other person's chart. So I think I'm going to clarify that a bit more. Clarify the Six of Cups. If I'm not mistaken, these two cards came out the exact same way for the Libra sign reading. So if you have Libra, definitely check that out in your chart and see exactly what you find there and see if anything resonates with you. Clarify the Nine of Cups. Okay. All right. So clear disappointment in this entire liaison with one another. However, we do find out that what the person has decided, or what you have decided to do, you're holding on. As the Aquarian, what I'm reading in the Aquarian column is that you're holding on to your thoughts, your actions, you're holding back, but you're also spying on the person. It's a very passive-aggressive way to approach the actions that you take towards this person. You're left in your thoughts of the good memories that happened in the past. I just get an overwhelming fear of expressing love and expressing self due to a traumatic situation that occurred in your past. And this will continue to hold you back. It's not going to be just this relationship. It's going to be all the relationships you've dealt with. And if the person that you're dealing with is faced with the same thing, no matter what, you cannot save or rescue anyone. For a lack of a better word, don't try to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and just for God's sakes, don't try to think you can change someone with your love, because that love needs to exist within. If you have that, great. If not, find it, because it's important for you to approach other relationships with that love. Because remember that relationships that enter into your life and the ones that you engage with are the ones that you tolerate, and also they're the ones that reflect who you are. So many times people who are in a hookup energy is because they want something light and airy, because they themselves want light and airy, or they don't want deep emotions. People who want a serious relationship or a codependent relationship, it reflects the codependency within them. So make sure that in this Libra kind of energy, because Libra is Venus, Venusian energy is a reflective energy. Similarly to the way the morning star rises over the eastern sky and reflects the light of the sun. In this particular reading, what I'm seeing here is that if you want someone, go for them. If you want a specific type of love, when it comes into your life, embrace it. There's nothing to be afraid of. We lose love many, many times in our lives. We lose things. But in that death, we're able to bring about transformation of ourself. And we're also able to release, let go, and allow new things to come into our lives that are even of greater value or of a new kind of value. In your person's chart, this person recognizes that because they have the Death card as the outward actions and the Nine of Cups. So whether or not they are smug or arrogant about it, they've chosen to end the relationship and get over the mental anguish that this has initially put them through. And they're doing so that they can choose to fill their own cups, but also in a kind of way to show you, like, I don't really need you. I came into this relationship full of my own wish fulfillments, my 9 cups. Even though this relationship has died, I'm putting an end to it because I choose to. That is my wish. And the wish fulfillment is the end of the relationship. That may seem very harsh, but that's what I'm getting from this reading. Hopefully they didn't put an end to a relationship just to smite you, and that's precisely the reason why you feel slighted about the whole thing. If for some Aquarians who are different than the ones that I just finished speaking about, if in your specific story you feel that a person ended the relationship just to be cruel to you, try not to wish for vengeance against that person, because for some reason I'm getting that what's meant for you is never going to pass you by. And additionally, if it doesn't work out, something better will come to take its place. But it starts with you filling that cup and being able to, dust yourself off and to proceed with continuing on and trying your best to make the most of your life. Do not let relationships define you. And furthermore, do not allow yourself to wallow in sorrow because of a past one. You will carry the negative energy of past relationships into current and future relationships. And that's not what we want for our Aquarians, because you are the star in the major arcana. The star is a person who is full of hope, who shines with their own light, and they're usually in the public eye. And I think that it's time for you to resonate more with that light. You don't need to be in the darkness of a past loss, but you can actually be into the light of a brilliant future, which is also why the star sign is a future-orientated card. I'm going to give you 2 cards of I'll give you 2 cards of advice, and then we'll end it here. So I'm going to give you 2 cards of advice. See, I keep getting the sun reverse. It's telling me about you finding your own light again. So we have here the Five of Swords, and then we also have the 9 of Pentacles reverse. In this, what I see is a person feeling defeated. It can be a person who tries to win at all costs, but I don't see this as a person who's willing to do anything they can to be codependent. I don't get those vibes from that. I get, in this sense, a person who enters into relationships simply because they're afraid of being alone, and they're afraid of feeling defeated. It's almost like a person who is almost like the 9 of Cups in your person's reading, in their outward actions. I'm getting a 9 of Pentacles reversed here. It's a person who's codependent in relationships. That we can definitely assess, or a person who is refusing to see their own worth. So and this is something I stress so many times throughout readings, if you, in any point in time in a relationship, feel that you do not have the worth or the value to keep up with the person that you're dealing with, you're not ready for a relationship, and you should not be in this relationship. Whether or not that person triggers that feeling of self-worth or self-doubt that is negative, or if they abuse you to trigger that. Never allow yourself to be in a situation until you know your true value and you're able to temper this with a sense of wholeness and fulfillment rather than a sense of arrogance and entitlement. The 9 of Pentacles normally is a person who has worked really hard to attain their financial independence and wealth and value. What are you putting your energy into that is going to allow you to do that at the relationship level? Are you willing to do what it takes, whatever it takes, to rediscover yourself and understand exactly what kind of value that you hold within your pentacles? The things of tangible, lasting, nature. Do you feel that you need a relationship in order to receive your own value, or do you feel as if you can find that at any cost? I think in this, what it's going to take, it shouldn't take heartbreak for you to rediscover your sense of self-worth. If you gave your sense of self-worth, or you had a lot of pride in the person that you lost in the past, whether that was through a divorce, whether that was through an illness or bereavement, or just a sudden separation of the relationship, that tear can leave a hole in your heart, but it's time for you to fill it with good things. All right, that's really all I can think of at the moment, but yeah, that's the reading for today. This has once again been Aluminum Tarot. If you enjoyed this reading, please give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell, and so that you can keep up with the future updates that will, any future videos that are posted on here. Also, if you like a personal reading, please reach out in the description box below, either through the email provided or through the website link. Also, please be aware of scammers, as always. Thanks so much for joining again. Love and light. Until next reading. Cheers.